Okay, Zisa Chevra. So we're looking at the Halakha Torah Beis and Likutei Moharan Tinyana, Rabbi Nachman's teaching on Chanukah. What a privilege to learn this exalted teaching together as a Chabura, an international group of Yidden. We're here in London, and we're learning together with all of you, wherever you are in the world. So Ashreinu Matayv Chalkeinu. What a privilege. So the Rebbe begins in Beis Aleph, where he's speaking about the Shashui Olam Haba. What are these delights of Olam Haba? What it means to be connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu on that level. After the experience of Olam Hazeh, pure ruchnius, pure connection. And the Rebbe says what that means is fundamentally is to thank Hashem, is to praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and to express our gratitude, our appreciation, because to praise Hashem is to know Hashem, is to recognize the extent to which Hashem was present in our lives in every single circumstance, like the Gemara in Bracha says, only then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will be one, and the answer is no. Of course, He's one now. But now we make a bracha, Baruch HaTov HaMitav, on good things, and on negative things, we say Baruch Ta'ina Emes. But La'asid Lave, we're going to say Baruch HaTov HaMitav on everything. It's the realization that Hashem was mamish, a part of every aspect of every experience of life that we experienced, was all kol mada avid rachman l'tava vid, generally, and like in Prat, like the Baal Shem Tov teaches in Keser Shem Tov, gam zu l'taiva. Everything was God, everything was good, and so we come to know Hashem on a deeper level. Says the Rebbe, shal yedeza smuchu mukrayvim levis barach. And in this way, we're closer to Hashem. The more that we know HaKadosh Baruch Hu and we're aware of Hashem's pervading energy that fills, saturates every aspect of our lives, this means that we're closer to Hashem. Now, this itself is a huge gilui, outside of the context of the whole very abstract structure. It's mamash an architectural work of genius. Right, Torah Beis. It's a skyscraper. Rabbi Nachman's the great architect. But even this one teaching, abstracted from the whole binyan, is already revelatory. Rabbi Nachman is telling us so deeply that, well, what does it mean to be close to Hashem? Hashem's all that there is. In every way, shape, and form, a person needs to recognize, like, Hashem is filling and surrounding. Hashem is all there is. That's the real Metzias. So, to what does my subjective experience of closeness or distance with Hashem rely upon? Right? What is that dependent on? So says the Rebbe, well, the more you're aware of Hashem, so the more you're close to Hashem. But we're all close to Hashem, right? We're fundamentally immersed in the revelation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's presence. This is the kav, right? That there's life. Like the Ma'anaim says, you're connected to Hashem. How do you know? Because Chaim, Kul Chameyan, because you're alive. And if you're alive, you're plugged into the Makar HaChaim, right? So you're always close. But subjectively, our experience of that kirva is going to rely on and depend upon our awareness of that kirva. If we're living lives of ego-oriented physical perception with the eyes of Yavan, coming up to Chanukah now, obviously, right? So then we're going to feel distant from Hashem. When negative things happen in our lives, things that impact our own trajectory, that get in the way of what we think is best for us, where we thought we need to go, and then something comes in the way and gets in the way of our plan. So then we're far from Hashem. Why are we far from Hashem in that way? Not because we're actually far from Hashem, but because we're not in the moichin of Chanukah. We're not in the consciousness of Hakara, of Taida, of thanking Hashem, of Haidah. So then we feel richuk. But to the extent that a person is living with the moichin of Chanukah, which is Kedila Haides Ula Halal, which is the Olam Habadika energy of Kala Karbanis Batelin La'asad Lave, all karbanis, which literally means sacrifices, but in this context means all ways of closeness to Hashem will be irrelevant then. The only way of getting close to Hashem, which is the word karban, the only thing that will be available to connect to Hashem, chutz mi karban taida, is just to thank Hashem. So then a person is in the mentality of closeness to Hashem every minute of their life. Not because there's something objectively different about the tzaddik's life, or oh, this person is closer to Hashem. We're all close to Hashem, like the Baal Tanya writes. We're all equally samach to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're always samach, because Hashem is karav Hashem l'chol karav. Right? Hashem is karav, like the Ibn Ezra says, mikol karav. Hashem is like closer than anybody else can be to you. Hashem is all of reality. The difference is a subjective level of awareness. How much are we makir? Says the Rebbe, the more you're makir, the closer you are. Because the closer you are is dependent subjectively on how close you feel. And how close you feel has to do with how much are you aware that every single thing that happens in your life is kutchabrichu, is mamish for your best, is mamish a love letter from Hashem, is a kiss on your forehead from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, your Avinu Shabbat Shamayim, your Reah, your best friend in the world, Utruas Melech Boy, that Hashem is our friend, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is looking out for us. To that extent, a person will feel close to Hashem. And this is what the what the Ma'arinayim, or the Tzaddik says, a few places in Me'ashilach, but it's developed in Beis Yaakov as well, from the Ishbitzer Tzaddikim says on the Pasuk, in this week's Parsha, the Yaakov Avinu has the dream of Sulam Mutzav Arza, the Rosh Megia Shamayim Malach Elikim Oilim Yardim Bai, and the angels are going up and down, and then it says, Vihini Hashem Nitzav Alav, and Hashem is Nitzav. Says the Me'ashilach, the word Nitzav means like a matseva, it's something that's eternal, it's something implanted, it's real. And Yaakov Avinu has the subjective perception of Oilim Yardim. I can get close to Hashem, I can get far from Hashem. He says that's just subjectively. From Hashem's perspective, Nitzav. Hashem is always there. The question is, how much are we aware? The more you're aware, the closer you are. The more we're chas v'shalom in the moichin of Yavan, not Hanukkah, the more distant we are. We should be close. We should feel the experience of Olam Haba saturating our world. Zois habachina hime'ein Olam Haba, like the Rebbe says in Torah Daled, Ashreinu, Ashreinu. Looking forward to carrying on learning this Torah with all of you. Thank you so much for listening.